Too Raw for TV.
What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. So, let's get to this. So, the fake Skip Bayless, the guy with the very, very punchable face, is at it again. And he does what most LeBron fans or LeBron legacy defenders do, and that is deflect. Since they really can't defend his team hopping and ring chasing, which is blatantly obvious at this point in time, they then try to say, oh, well, Mike did it, Kobe did it, this guy did it. See, look, you don't talk about this, you're a hypocrite. He did it. When in reality, Mike and Kobe didn't do anything remotely close to what this loser, when it comes to, Mike and Kobe, he compared to those guys, as much as he stacked the deck and still has the playoff record for most losses, compared to them, he is a loser. But they know that at the bottom, and deep within the recesses of their souls, they understand that LeBron doesn't live up to their standards, so they have to make these ridiculous claims.
Wait, why is it only ring chasing when LeBron has good teammates? That doesn't exactly make sense. Did Kobe ever have good teammates? Oh, Prime Shaq? Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up. Prime Shaq, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton? Is that good enough? Oh, but they were old, they were injury prone, come on. Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, Pau Gasol, and Ron Artest? Is that good enough? Oh, but come on, they were old and injury prone, come on. Old and injury prone. Old, injury prone. LeBron, old, Embiid, injury prone. Hey, Steph, who did you play with? Oh, yeah, prime Klay Thompson, prime Draymond Green, prime Kevin Durant, prime Andre Iguodala. You had prime Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, all these great players. Did he have enough help? I think so. Oh, come on, MJ carried the Bulls. Like he didn't have prime Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Ron Harper and Tony Kukoc and Horace Grant. Yeah, no help at all. Not even a little bit. Oh, wait. How did Kobe do without Shaq and without Pau Gasol? 0 playoff series wins. What about Steph without Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler? How many playoff wins? 0 playoff series wins. And Michael Jordan, how is his playoff record without Scottie Pippen? 1-9. But wait, you're gonna criticize LeBron for taking this team to the finals and losing to the greatest team ever? Really? Oh, and taking this team to the finals at 22? That's not good enough. Come on. Come on, the East was trash. They suck. Wait, I thought he could only do it in the East. Not at 41 years old, take a team with Rui, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, and DeAndre Ayton to a win over a 50-win team in the West. And see, that's the thing. When LeBron has good teammates, it's ring chasing and he's getting carried and he can't win without them. But when Steph has great teammates and MJ has great teammates and Kobe has great teammates, it's, oh yeah, well, they carried them. What? Y'all are a bunch of hypocrites. And everyone knows it.
Did you notice he started off? Matter of fact, let me play it right quick. I want to point something out for you.
Wait, why is it only ring chasing when LeBron has good teammates?
See how they form a false argument? Whoever says that only LeBron gets to have good teammates, that's not the argument here. That's never been the argument. You need good teammates to win in the NBA. You have to have good teammates. But you notice in those photos for Kobe being Bryant and Michael Jordan, they all showed them in the same uniform. The constant for 20 years was Kobe in that purple and gold. Mike, aside from the Wizard years, he was in that Bulls black and red or white and red, right? LeBron, team hopper, little team hopper. Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland, and LA, and now to Philly. And unlike LeBron, most of the people that you named that Kobe Bean Bryant played for, or not played for, excuse me, played with, or Jordan played with, most of those guys were either players that were drafted by the organization, meaning they didn't choose what team they were going to, like Draymond Green or Klay Thompson or Scottie Pippen or Horace Grant, right? Although I know Pippen was a actual trade in the draft from Seattle. Those guys were drafted. The other people that you're naming, Andre Iguodala, Jordan Poole, drafted by the Warriors, got him. Most of those guys that you named either were drafted or they signed on in free agency, but they were not regarded as either superstars, or if they had been, they were at the tail end of their careers. You mentioned Shaq and Karl Malone and Gary Payton. Gary Payton, if you even just watch that season, if you watch any basketball that season, which I know you didn't, because I don't even know if you were alive when that season commenced. Payton, you could clearly see, was in the beginnings of the downside of his career. Karl Malone was done. Mentally, he had checked out of the game. His mama had passed away the year before, and his drive to play basketball was gone. Plus, he was 41 years old. And he wasn't using steroids, like some people that we're not going to name. And Shaq was on the downside of his career. So you're naming names, but you're leaving out details. Steve Nash was done. Dwight Howard wasn't a good fit playing with Kobe. And Dwight was in the beginnings of the downsides of his career, too. Metta World Peace was on the downside of his career. Pau Gasol was on the downside of his career by 2012, 2013. Or at least getting close to it. Not the same. As much as Jerry Krause and Michael Jordan dislike one another, Jerry Krause admitted something in an interview before he died. He said, one thing I'll say about Michael Jordan is that he never once came to me and asked me to draft this guy or draft that guy. Because generally speaking, he wanted to beat all those motherfuckers. He didn't want to team up with them. And to give you an idea about how different their mentalities were, Kobe, no matter how you feel about it, Kobe put pressure on the organization to force Shaq out because he wanted to win without him. That's the most anti-LeBron shit that you will ever see. And by the way, Kevin Durant did get flack for joining the Warriors. Steph Curry did get flack for joining the Warriors, for having KD join them. The fuck are you talking about? Kevin Durant has gotten more flack, actually, for joining the Warriors than LeBron did for colluding with the Miami Heat. And you know what I find hysterical is that you guys had such a problem when Kevin Durant signed with the Warriors, right? You were the loudest motherfuckers. All of a sudden then, y'all didn't care about, players can sign their free agents, can sign what they want to sign. That's not what y'all was saying when KD signed with the Warriors. Oh, this is unfair. How does he get to sign with a team that won 7? That's bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But you didn't care when LeBron was in the weak-ass Eastern Conference, the weakest it ever had been, or at least the weakest since the 1950s, when George Michael was winning 5 titles. You didn't care when y'all was hogging all the fucking talent in the Eastern Conference, playing against a bunch of weak-ass teams. You didn't care then about parity. You only care about parity when it hurts your precious fake king. That's when you care about parity then. You guys are clowns, man. No matter how much you want to spin it, you toss it in the air like a pizza pie and spin it and flip it like a pancake and flat it down like a cooked bologna and think you could do all this chopping up of like teriyaki and all. Look, no matter how much you want to do all that shit, the fact remains, Michael Jordan in his prime played with one Hall of Famer throughout the 90s, Scottie Pippen. And if you want to throw in Tony Kukoc as a European Hall of Famer and Dennis Rodman, fine. Right? In the second three-peat. Kobe Bryant did play with Shaq. Right? But he didn't pick his team. The organization picked him. Jerry West picked him. And about this shit about organizations. Organizations are competing with other organizations to build talent. When a player colludes with another player, they're not competing with other players. They're trying to stack the deck. And let's not forget about the fact that the NBA voided a trade that would have sent a prime Chris Paul to the Lakers. They voided that trade because David Stern said that's just unfair. And the franchise that the NBA owned at the time, the Hornets temporarily, needed a star for revenue. At least that was the bullshit answer they gave. So they voided a trade that would have sent Chris Paul to the Lakers. Because had they not voided that trade, Kobe definitely be in the GOAT conversation because he would have had 6 or 7 championships, if not the GOAT. And we wouldn't be having these fucking conversations at all. Meanwhile, your guy has played with a prime Dwayne Wade, a prime Chris Bosh, a prime Kyrie Irving, a prime Kevin Love, a prime Anthony Davis, a prime Luka Doncic. Now he's going to play with a prime Joel Embiid, well, close to a prime Joel Embiid, although he is injury prone. But he's still only 32 years old. A prime Jaylen Brown, a prime Tyrese Maxey. I don't know how good VJ Edgecombe's going to be, but he averaged 16 points per game as a rookie. That generally seemed like he's going to be the trajectory of an all-star level player. But I don't know. LeBron makes guys around him worse. Guys that need a basketball, he tends to make them worse. So all of a sudden, VJ Edgecombe will look like a bum playing with LeBron averaging 8. Then when he goes somewhere else, he's going to average 25 points a game. Like how Brandon Ingram looked terrible playing with LeBron, but then he goes elsewhere and look like an all-star. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. These guys are ridiculous. He's a team hopper. Period. End of story.